upon that, I'm going to really suggest that you you use order this value pack because statistics show that people have most success ordering value pack, blah, 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 blah. And I know that's important to you, right? And so it's a give and take. And I have control of this process. Throwing them in RPRR, I have zero control.
Zero.
And now I'm in a chasing game. You know what? Sales is so much fun if you do it the right way. And if you are chasing people, sales sucks. It's a nightmare. It'll drive you, and you will fail. And because you fail, it's going to be miserable. Do it the right way. Have it fun. Mm-hmm. Stay control of the process. And it's so much fun if you do it the right way. Okay. So, April, that was really cool of you to share that with us. And I get it. There's been a lot of confusing information out there. And that's one of the things that I really believe has held this team back. Is too. Because there's so much confusion, and I get it. Heidi, who's Heidi? Lynn Hagedorn. She's a, multimillionaire.
Oh, she's amazing.
She is amazing.
She's amazing.
But
there's been so many flavors of the day.
And we're not, and I'm not here to talk about Lynn.
No. She's amazing.
She's unbelievable.
But if we would all do this, Katie freaking bar the door.
Yeah.
Because when I did it and consistently did it, and then now that I've come back, well, the proof's in the numbers.
And people that are doing it are having success.
Look at Katie. 10 cycle bonus.
Yes.
She's been in this for like 1 millisecond.
It's amazing. She's following the system to a T.
To a T.
And that's the thing. I mean, there's been a lot of confusion. And the way we're going to have success as a team, guys, is if we're all in the same boat rowing in the same direction. Mm-hmm. We are going to get there a hell of a lot quicker, and we're going to have so much more fun doing it. Okay? So, I just, stick to this system and then default to RPRR. And if you have concerns with that or objections to that, fine, I understand. Call us and we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. And
we're open.
April,
or if you have a better way, we want to hear it.
And I want to address one thing with April too. April and I spent the day together, great day, at April's house when I was in Naples last year. And when she said, how are these people having so much success with RPRR if I'm not? Man, is she right. Because April had an assistant. I mean, she had this RPR thing dialed in like no one I've ever seen in my life. I mean, she was so, and it's basically, it's a weak system. It's weak. We want to empower you. We want to empower you to share with confidence the Isagenix story. And there's naturals like Liz O'Keefe. I mean, she's totally a natural. She's but she's 1 in a million. And even
Liz uses a system.
Absolutely, she does.
She's smart enough to know that you use a system.
Yeah. Right? And so I just, I really, this is so simple. Let's don't over, because she's cracking up. But, let's don't overcomplicate this. And I think we're really going to have to be diligent about training more on how to invite people to take a look at our solutions and setting that call up. I think that if we can get everybody doing that, we're all at the tippy top of this, guys.
Yeah, and I think there was another question here, Heidi. It says, where can I find the introductory call slides? Because, you can do the introductory call without slides, or you can do them with slides. And I don't remember who you were talking to, and we asked their opinion, is it better with slides or without, what they thought. Yeah. And they said, well, it just depends upon the person. Yeah. And I agree with that 100%. But the slides, how you put together a slide presentation that coincides with the introductory call script. So you can do a Zoom call. So instead of just talking on the phone, you can schedule it as a Zoom call. And if the person that your prospect has that is tech savvy enough to know what a Zoom call is and how to get on a Zoom call, it's nice to have the visuals, because people learn differently, right? Some are visual, some are tactile, some are auditory. And if you have that script up there, those visuals can be very helpful for some people.
So guys, just to let you know, I am going to change this. I'm going to move the introductory call, which is right here, to right here. Okay. And
Yes, thank you. That makes so
basically,
much more sense.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's what April was saying. Maybe that's where some of the confusion lies.
And
well,
you
you
know
know
what?
what?
It's funny
We've
because
been,
that's what Chris Harder was saying on the 10 to the top call this week,
Yeah.
was what he and Lori are doing is exactly what you're saying. It's like they're basically like quickly phone call or text, like securing that introductory call. Like, hey, I can do it at this time or this
yeah,
time. And then
Yes,
once they get the
that's it.
commitment for the call,
yep,
then they say, in the meantime, I can put you in my private group to take a look around. So they're sort of using it as like in the meantime, here's a little peek, but they already have the introductory call scheduled. So I thought that was kind of
Yeah,
smart too.
and you know what? And there's no right or wrong in this, okay? But my opinion on that is, and when I in sales, I never gave anybody any information, okay, unless I absolutely had to, because they asked for it. Because I don't want. Here's the thing: if I've got an introductory call schedule with somebody, why would I do anything to upset the apple cart? Because they might. I'm not saying they would or wouldn't, but they could, right? Go into that RPRR and look at a couple of things and look at a comment and misinterpret something, or it's what I don't like that or this. Why do it?
yeah,
What's the
It
benefit?
makes sense.
You
No,
could
I
say the
like that. I
benefit is
think you're
they can
right.
learn
I
more.
definitely think you're
Yeah,
right.
I do too.
right? And it's just like a default. Okay, don't give anybody any. It's just like the invitation to take a look. The objective of the invitation to take a look is to get the 20-minute call scheduled while saying as little as possible. Okay, don't it's just like we don't want to show our cards, right? Let's just introduce them in bits and pieces, and that's the purpose of the system is taking somebody from the absolute beginning, knowing nothing about Isagenix, to the point where they can make a decision. And remember, I didn't say to the point where they buy. It's not a matter of getting them to buy. It's getting them to the point where they have the information that they need so they can make a decision as to what is in their best interest. And that's a yes or a no. If it's a no, and it's predicated upon a true understanding of what Isagenix is, and more importantly, what it isn't, then we're okay with that, aren't we? It's just it didn't resonate with them. It wasn't their cup of tea. That's okay. Then we move on. But what's terrible if somebody makes a decision and says no based upon a misunderstanding or without a thorough understanding of what Isagenix is. Because I think all of us on this call will say the same thing, right? And you correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody would say yes to Isagenix if they truly understood what we understand. Everybody would say yes, okay? Unless you're an idiot, right? There's idiots out there, I guess, right? But, if they knew what we knew, so that's our objective, isn't it? It's not to plug them into RPR and get confused and see something and misinterpret. It's to control the process and introduce them to this and diffuse landmines and give them that information so they feel empowered to make a decision. That's it. You put somebody and you empower them to make a decision, they're going to make a decision.
Given the right information and in the right context. And the last thing I'm going to say, because it's getting late on a Sunday night, but I think this is really cool. And I think Katie, as we've been doing these, I did ask Katie, I was like, what do you think's more powerful? Some people are on their way, they can't get in front of a computer. They're like at soccer practice in their car doing an introductory call. So, we have lots of options here. But I think it's incredibly powerful to show someone. I mean, look at this, you guys. Somebody take a picture of this. Look at this. There's like 35 people on this call. We're from everywhere in the United States. Soon we'll be all over Europe. And we are so connected, as if I feel like I'm sitting in a coffee shop with all of you. And I think it's so powerful. And I think the friends that Katie brought on to these Zoom PowerPoint, these Zoom introductory calls with the visuals, were pretty impressed. And I don't forget to say, isn't this amazing? I'm in Aspen, Colorado. Katie's in Illinois. You're in Nashville, the one gal, wherever. but yet we're also connected in this evolved economy through resources like Zoom. So, they start to see this big picture that, we're building an international business by, through this, because we're also so connected, and it's certainly way more than selling shakes.
And I just want to reiterate as we end this call, we love our PRR. We're a huge fan of it. It's a brilliant thing. We're not here disparaging it. We love it, but we believe that there's a way to use it. You may agree with us, you may not, and that's okay. But we agree and we believe that we use that as that last-ditch effort. Okay, I couldn't get them to do this. Right. I couldn't get them to schedule a 20-minute intro. I couldn't get them to make a decision. Okay, as a default, instead of just doing nothing, I'm going to plug them into our PRR and hope. But see that? That's the key. Hope. Hope will drive you crazy. Okay? So don't rely on hope. Stick with the system where you can control the process and get people to the point where they're making a decision that they feel is in their best interest, yes or no. And that decision will only be made, they will only make a decision once they have the information that they feel they need to be able to make a decision. Okay?
Okay, and one other thing, Danielle, please just announce, Mark and I will travel to London in June. Okay, this is really important, and Danielle, I wanted to talk to you and Lisa as well, because Paul and I are thinking about going, like Danielle and Lisa are going to London in June, and we're thinking about going in like September or October, for the next exposure. So guys, really, we're entering the United Kingdom as the largest direct sales health and wellness direct sales company in all of Europe. I mean, this is enormous. So start asking people.
Yeah, and if you know anybody that is in, England, London, whatever, wherever Danielle and Lisa are going, I mean, can you imagine Lisa and Danielle getting together with this person? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking about these two incredible dynamos. I mean, you want people that over in London to join your business, get them, introduce them to freaking, Danielle and Lisa. Do yourself a favor, right? And do, your prospects a favor. So anyway, I think, we've said a lot this evening and we've gone probably past time, but we certainly appreciate everybody kind of sticking into the bitter end here. Mm-hmm. If anybody has any questions or concerns, or comments or thoughts, whatever, feel free to contact us, text us or call us, whatever. But yeah, I'm just reiterate, let's end it by just saying, let's everybody get in the same boat and start rowing in the same direction. And guess what? We're all going to just kick ass and go to the top. All right, everybody. Yeah.
Bye, guys. Okay. Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
Mwah. Love you.
Thanks, you guys. Love you.